Man, it's gone, Terry. Boom, just like that. That's how they go, right? 2023, it's gone.
David, you ever heard John Maxwell's statement about getting older?
No, I don't think
He said,
so.
life is like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. So 2023 was just like that.
It's because the spool gets smaller, right, Terry?
Yeah, and so does our life expectancy.
Oh, geez. I'll never forget that quote from I think it was in something about or oh, what movie was that with Meg Ryan? And she said, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, I'm gonna blink and I'm gonna be 50. 50.
50.
50 was a little while ago for me. But anyway, Happy New Year, Terry. It's great to see you. It was a really, really good year. All in all, I pulled it together and we had a decent year. I mean, there was so much negativity with the media and everything's going wrong, going wrong. But all in all, I got to say 2023 was good. And I'm super excited about 2024. What's going on with you in your neck of the woods?
Well, I couldn't agree more, David. And by the way, I think the mainstream media, they've all vowed to only have positive news on this year.
They did? Oh, I didn't catch
No,
that.
no way.
I didn't catch that.
Negative news sells. Negative
Yeah.
news sells, and scare tactics sell, and murder sells, but we're not that way here on these sites. We try and promote positivity. Unless you're still in California and you're looking to get out, we can understand why you're a little bit more distressed because we're here to help people who want to leave to figure out where to go and how to get there. So that's what we're here for.
I'm not really much of I mean, I am a big goal setter with my martial art background. Speaking of which, I got my martial art jacket on today. It's freezing in Las Vegas, raining, which it never does. But my New Year's resolution this year was just the word happiness. That's all I want to focus on this year. So life decisions, things that I do, uh, try and release negativity from my life. And also, one of the resolutions was to watch less news. I really got the news got into my head. And the reason why is because as a realtor, I feel like I really need to be abrupt on what's going on. But the media, they just want to scare people and tell them that now's not a good time to buy. It's a bad idea. You shouldn't have any home ownership. You shouldn't be building equity. You shouldn't have wealth for yourself. So if you pay attention to the media long enough, you start believing them, and you're like, you know what? I guess I'm just going to have to rent for the rest of my life, and I can never create any wealth for myself. So my resolution is the word happiness, and to choose activities and do things that I know can make me happier and to try to avoid the negativity. And I know you're going to talk a little bit about the way you want to see the format of the posting and stuff. I feel like it's getting a little better and people are posting positive things. And maybe it's just me because I'm tuning out some of the negative comments and the negative posts because I get so tired of it. If you don't have any, your mama taught you that a long time ago. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say it. But a lot of them, they just feel like they have to be negative, and I want to avoid that in 2024. What about you? What's your resolutions this year?
Well, first of all, if some people didn't speak when they were being negative, then some of them would never post at all. So that's a challenge on their side. Well, for me, it's advancing what we're doing with the groups, helping people. I think California is continuing to slide further and further into the abyss, if you will, and that's just my personal opinion. Again, there's lots of people that love living there, but I believe that people are going to continue to wake up. I mean, let's face it, David. The top marginal tax rate went up from 13 plus percent to now 14.4% if you make over $1 million. And, in our lifetime, making $1 million isn't going to be that much money anymore. But now they're taking 14.4. You add that to the 37% federal, you are now working half of the year for someone else in the federal government. And boy, are they spending it the way you want them to. So
Right?
I love that saying that was said. Okay, who earned the money? I did, or the taxpayer did.
Right.
Why is the federal government and the state government entitled to half of that? And oh, by the way, we haven't gotten into property taxes on your multi-million-dollar house. We haven't gotten into sales tax. We haven't gotten into regulation taxes, all these other things. So I believe that there's going to continue this mass exodus. In fact, U-Haul just came out yesterday with their annual report for the fourth year in a row. California led the nation in one-way moves out of the state. In fact, I got a reach out today from Fox News. They wanted to get my thoughts on that. So I imagine there'll be an article on foxnews.com in the
Uh-huh.
next day or two about my thoughts about that. But again, what I told them was it just keeps going in the wrong direction. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. So I feel for those who still live there. I was there 35 years, been out for over 2.5 years now. I love the freedom of Florida. And I quite frankly have more time to spend on these groups. I don't have to work as hard to make as much money just to pay the
Right.
bills. So
But
I'm looking forward to that this year.
yeah, you said that the government is spending it the way we want it. I'm a little confused on that because isn't our government spending money on the war in Iraq in Iraq
Ukraine, Ukraine.
Ukraine?
No,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
don't
say
even
they were
know.
spending it the way I said they're not spending it the way we want them to.
Right, on us taking
Oh,
care
and how
of our
about this,
border.
David? $3 billion to help pay for healthcare, for free healthcare for illegal immigrants, estimated 700,000. Oh, by the way, what happens when you give free stuff away? You get more people who come in and take that free stuff. So 3 billion is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. It's,
Sorry, I feel for those people. I understand they want to have a better life, but we cannot have an open border where
yeah.
anybody from anywhere in the world can come in free, live free, free medical, free school for the kids, free, because
Yeah.
nothing's free. We you
Yeah.
got to pay for it. Somebody's got to
Sorry,
pay for
I didn't mean to get off on a tangent, but I was kind of laughing and joking that, I know the government is not spend they don't have our best interest at heart. But let's focus on California. We could, if we get off on a tangent, we could go all day on that. But back to California, you really have been kind of being touted as the expert for leaving California, and now you have these major networks, major newscasters. They're coming to you and they're wanting to get your feedback. Talk a little bit about that and what you plan to do in 2024. And do you like having that role as being the go-to guy to find out why so many people are leaving California? And is this something that you ever dreamed that you would be?
Not really, but I'll tell you, I don't mind it because I did live in California for 35 years. I moved there in 1986. Gasoline cost less in California in 1986 than it did in Texas in 1986. Today, it's probably 75% higher.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an accident. That's not just because, as Newsom says, oh, those rich oil companies, they're just persecuting us. No, it's because you have the highest gas taxes in the country.
Right.
You won't drill for oil in California. You have to buy it from Saudi Arabia because for some reason you won't let local producers produce it. So there's just reasons for that. And because I was there 35 years, and now I've been back to free Florida again, where I was born and raised. I think they look at me as someone, and of course we look at the groups every day, right? I'm in these groups 7 days a week, and we have lots of help, lots of great admins who help us out with it. But we keep our finger on the pulse of what people are asking and what the challenges people are going through. And so for that reason, I think the news organizations who want to hear the truth come to me and people like me because we have real world experience with this. It's not just speculation.
So if you could tell, we really haven't talked a lot about this, but your role as the leading California expert and what your vision is, and if you could talk a little bit about what you really want to see happen and what your real mission statement is, and kind of just explain to our audience, what it is that you would really like to see happen and what kind of role you want to play in this next coming year.
I think we're going to expand our ability to help people figure out the best place to move. A perfect example was this morning. Someone posted in one of the groups, said, hey, the weather's perfect here. I love the view of the mountains. I love 80 degrees in the summertime, something like that. I love the beautiful ocean. Where can I go that's going to be the same? Well, the answer is no place. You're not going to get the same weather. Maybe Portugal. I hear Portugal might have that same weather. But if you want to stay in the United States, you're not going to get that. And so our hope and what we've always strived to do is to help people figure out the best place for them. Do I love Florida in July and August when it's 96 degrees and 90% humidity?
Mm,
No, I
yeah.
don't. Because where I lived in the East Bay in July, typically most summer days, it was 80, 85 degrees, zero humidity. In fact, there were some days in the summertime, it was so cool, my pool in the backyard wasn't warm enough to swim in
Hmm.
because it was so cool at night.
Yeah.
Are you going to get that in Florida? No, but I wouldn't trade my life in Florida for anything in California. I don't care how much money you got. So that's our goal, is to help people figure out the best way to get there. And we've got great movers, mortgage people. We've got a great network of over 350 realtors that people can refer to and work with them. These are all professionals. I know every single one of them who can help people find a great home. And their goal is not to sell you a house. Their goal is to make sure it's the right fit for you to move somewhere. And really, we just want to keep expanding that network and expanding the services that we offer people.
Yeah, I found that we've talked about that on a lot of our shows throughout the year, and talking about a lot of people don't know that what we have. And I think that's kind of been our mission for the last 6 months, is to educate people and to let them know, and I know it's scary. Sometimes when people are like, oh, I don't want to talk to him, all he's going to try and do is sell me a house. No, really, all we want to try and do is arm you with really good information, make sure that we give you a good strategic plan, because planning is going to be the key. And we talk about that every week. And it's funny because every week we always have guests. And for the last 2 weeks, we have it. And we're going to be picking that up. I'm going to touch on who we're going to be having as our guest. We have a lot of really exciting weekly podcast planned for this year. And again, I just want to reiterate that we have so many great resources, and we really look forward to helping people leave California. We don't care if you use our realtor, but we want to be involved. We want to help you, and we want to be able to advise you. We know that this is a very, very big life decision. So with that, let's talk about 2024. And well, before we get to that, let's talk about what's going on in California. Anything changing? Do you see membership coming up or down or staying the same? And what's going on in California? Why are so many people leaving?
Well, historically, January is a good month for us as far as growth. The main reason for that is because all the new laws come in. Most years, California passes over 1,000 new laws, and they start
Jesus.
typically somewhere around January 1st, sometimes July. But the new laws this year, the tax increase, as I mentioned, free medical for illegal aliens, thank goodness, I'm sure most parents are sleeping great at night now, knowing that there has to be a gender neutral toy section in every toy store now. Thank goodness, California finally woke up and
Oh,
made it.
wow.
I
I was
know.
hoping that would get passed. That's good that that got passed. Thank God.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, what does that mean? Does that mean that the boy's bike has a pink tires or something? I don't know exactly what that means, or vice versa.
This is
I,
insane.
can you see why California many times is the laughing stock of the nation and of the world? It just blows me away. The things they spend their time on doing and implementing and regulating. Oh, don't forget, we're heading soon. $20 minimum wage for all fast food workers. Thank goodness for that. And all the
Wow.
layoffs that are coming. And you want to see how fast they get robots into McDonald's? You just watch. I'm not talking about, the kiosks and all these other things.
Yeah.
Every time they raise the minimum wage, it actually hurts the underemployed and the less skilled people, because it's the market will determine. I'm going to get on the soapbox, but the market is the best way to find out what the minimum wage should be, not the government. Just
Right.
like
Yeah.
just like Newsom with his electric cars in 2035. I just read an article today that Ford is having to cut their production of the electric F-150s in half because there's no demand for it. And because
Jeez.
those that have bought them are saying, are you kidding me? This thing is an absolute joke.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's just part of it, and why our groups grow so well. And I
Hmm.
think it's almost like an annuity. You can just count on it continue to grow, and because there's just going to be more people leaving.
I think that now that we're talking about this, I feel like your empathy is what really, really emulates through the channel and through your work and your efforts. And when you go on national media and you are a guest, it's your empathy. And again, you're not like telling people, get the hell out of there. You need to leave right now. You're just giving out information. And it seems to me, and you know way more about this than me, Terry, but it just seems like California doesn't want to change. They don't want to go in a different direction. They just want to keep being the same way. And I don't think anything's going to change. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to leave,
Well,
unfortunately.
you've got an 86, I'm sorry, $68 billion deficit. Last year they had a $100 billion surplus. Now you've got a $68 billion deficit. Do you know, David, just from economics, the best way, Ronald Reagan did this. What's the best way to raise funds for the government? Cut taxes. What's the best way to get less taxes in revenue? Is to raise taxes. But California, of course, is saying, well, we've got a deficit. We have to raise taxes,
Yeah.
which is only going to bring in less tax revenue. It happens every time. It happens
Yeah.
every time, but they don't understand that, or they don't care. So it's just going to keep going. By the way, for our friends who vote for what they've gotten in California, by all means, please stay. Please stay. The
Yeah,
rest of the
right.
country wants you to stay. We want you to be happy in California. We want you to be happy with your higher taxes. By the way, the utilities all just got double-digit percent increases in utility rates, which are already double what the rest of the country is on average, and they just got double-digit increases there.
Yeah.
I mean, you want utopia? Please stay and enjoy utopia.
Well, Terry, you had said that you wanted to share your screen. Do you have a couple things you want to share with our audience today?
Yeah, this is the biggest news of the day, David. I don't know.
Uh,
Oh, you have
uh,
to enable it there. I mean, this is going to just make people just fall out of their chairs. Can I share now?
yes,
Okay. All right. You ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm ready for anything. Let's see what you got.
Coming
Oh,
soon.
wow. These look fantastic. I
It's not
like
going to
it.
be all of these. It's not going to be all of them, but we did a survey in the groups, asked people which shirts were their favorite. There were 3 on there. Just for what it's worth, B, G, and H were the favorites. So we're working now with a manufacturer to get those produced, and we'll have those available soon. And I know it's not a big deal, but let's face it, it's fun to promote the fact that you left California and now you're not there anymore, or you're in California, you're going to be leaving.
Yeah, like I said, I believe that it should be more of we should. I want to have people that are proud, and the last thing that we want for anybody is to move to a new city and have to feel like they have to hide or, lie about where they came from. I think
Well,
that day is not
uh,
that far away.
you just have to be careful. Some places it really is a big deal.
Yeah, and I think that's sad that people will kind of, put a mark on someone and say, oh, well, then you must do this, this, and this. No, those are the things that I went to get away from. So as far as 2024, next week we have let me pull up my list here. Next week we have UFF. Talk a little bit about who our guests are on Monday at noon, the UFF.
Sure. Yeah. Noon Pacific, United Financial Freedom. What they do is they have a computer program that will allow you to pay off your debts much faster without any more cash flow going out than if you just paid each bill on a monthly basis. So it's a really interesting AI related type program that lets you pay down your debts much faster. But again, no more out of pocket. But it's very strategic in how it does it, and they've got a great program. So if you're still in California or you've left and you've got a mortgage or credit card debt, things like that, these guys are very helpful in getting you to pay down that debt much faster than if you just, again, on the first of each month or whenever you have your bills due, you just wrote a check each time. So I quite frankly, I was quite skeptical when I heard about it, and then they showed it to me and I'm like, this is amazing. So they'll be on next week. What a great way to start the year, perhaps getting connected with them to where you can pay down your mortgage faster, pay down your debt faster. And I think it's a great time to start with them.
Yeah, and we talked about that before. We've talked about having other guests other than just realtors. No, we're going to continue to focus on cities because we know that people want information about different cities, but we're also offering valuable information. We're going to have some special guest speakers on. Hopefully, we can get Tucker Carlson to come on sometime this year. I'm sure he's probably not too busy,
You
but
know,
he's
I
going to
just
be.
ran into somebody who's going to be meeting with him here in Orlando, and I said, "Hey, can you introduce me?" And he said, "I think I can." So I might be able to meet Tucker Carlson here this year, and perhaps just let him know what we're doing.
That would be awesome if we could get him to come on to our show, just even for 5 or 10 minutes. Excuse me, I'm getting over a little bit of a cold from the holidays. I was in Colombia, as I told you. That was so much fun, and then me and my daughter just went on the 7 day cruise on the Panorama. What a great time we had!
I'm
It's
sure.
just been a great December. I'm looking forward to getting going this year. And then the following week we have one of your favorite realtors. And I don't know if everybody in our audience knows, but we have over 350 realtors that are in our network, and we have Haley Van Edom.
Eat 'em.
Edom, right? And
Yes.
I've met her a couple times. She's a super, super lady. That's one of Terry's favorites. She's from Knoxville, Tennessee. You and her have a great relationship. She's a super person. And then one of your first guys that you had, I think he was one of the first five members of Realtors, is Isaac Chavez. He's going to be the following week, and then we're going to go back up to Northwest Arkansas with Tina Stanley. So we're going to be doing these shows every week. We're going to be giving out a lot of information. Is there anything else that you want to share about 2024 to our members?
Just that. By the way, Isaac's in Boise. By the way, and David, I want people to just know that you're in the Las Vegas market. You know the entire market. You've been there for decades, most of your life, in fact, and
Yes.
you are a great resource. Even if people aren't looking to buy a house in Las Vegas, if they have questions about it, and Las Vegas gets a lot of negative press, but I got to tell you, last time I was there, I went to go see a friend down in Henderson who was born and raised in the Bay Area, lived in Pleasanton, which is a very high end area, moved to
Mm-hmm.
Henderson. He wouldn't move back to California for anything. He absolutely loves
Yeah.
Henderson, lives in a great gated golf
Mm-hmm.
community. And I know that you can help people with stuff like that. So I'd love for people to reach out to you, even if they don't necessarily are in a place to buy in Las Vegas or looking to move soon, they should
Yeah.
reach out to David Barry, Realtor there.
I
And
appreciate that. Yeah, that I
sure.
definitely want to help more people leave and be the resource for people leaving California. I help a lot of people with relocations, so I would love to help you out. If you want to get a hold of me, it's a really easy email. It's Las Vegas at davidberryrealtor.com. My phone number 702-374-1771. I'll give you all the information you need about Southern Nevada. I've been here since 1975. You were in Florida. What were you doing in 1975?
High school.
High school. Yeah, we both were in high school at the same time, and I was actually in the fifth or sixth grade then. It's a long time ago. But anyway, we just wanted to do a quick show. We're already a little bit over time, but I wanted to wish everybody a happy new year. I hope, and if you're really thinking about leaving, use our resources. Send us a message. Terry will do a private call with you if you want. If you want to
Great.
talk to Terry and you just want to get some information on all the people that he's helped, he'll get on the phone with you, and he would love to share all of the planning and all the strategic things that you need to be think about. He'll tell you things that I promise you didn't even think about before you were moving to a new state. So, I mean, we're here for you guys. We want to be your resource. Let's please, please, please try to keep the comments positive. If you really don't have anything positive to say, let's try to be nice to one another. I know it's tough, but try to find something good. And if you got to say something bad, what was that saying, Terry? They said if you're going to say something bad, try to say two things good. Isn't that how it goes?
I never heard that.
Yeah, but not just always being negative. So
That's right.
anyway, happy New Year to everybody. We look forward to hearing from you. We'll talk to you soon. Make this a great
Goodbye
year.
from
Take care.
Florida.
Bye bye.